This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady News Source.
Good evening and welcome to Mock Show 570 for a special St. Patrick's Day edition. I'm Connor Riley.
And I'm Sam Lack. And of course, the big topic for today is alcohol. You would think that an issue such as alcohol would cause drink sales to be a hot topic when it comes to the polls, but that's not what happened today in Watkinsville. Reporter Kara Murphy says the city had one of its lowest turnouts ever. Kara, this is certainly a surprise.
Sam, only about 52 people showed up to the polls today. There are over 1,700 active voters in Watkinsville, which means that less than 3% of residents cast their vote. The City Hall parking lot was just as empty as the polls. Officials explain that it is not uncommon to have low voter turnout for special elections, but for an issue like this, you would expect more voters.
I would have to say that it is just because there's not enough, not enough information being sent out. I myself probably wouldn't have known if I hadn't seen it on Facebook. And I think that's just because we have the normal voting cycle with our state and federal elections, and the local election is just on a different cycle. You know, it's also, I think, more difficult for people to find time during their day.
However, some residents think the voter turnout is due to the overwhelming passage of the liquor by the drink referendum in Oconee County in November.
And I really think it goes back to the margin of victory in the fall for the county. And I don't think people here are any different.
Even though turnout was low, some residents still believe it is important to participate in special elections, no matter what the issue.
It's important to make sure that my voice is heard, and it's my right and privilege to vote.
We talked to voting officials who told us that no matter how low the turnout, the referendum is still passed by majority vote.
In November, 65% of voters in Oconee County approved the countywide referendum. However, the vote was held again in Watkinsville because there was no differentiation between county and city voters at the precincts. The proposed referendum poses both pros and cons to Watkinsville. The city could see an increase in revenue for businesses and different types of restaurants coming to the area. However, one local resident believes it could negatively affect the area as parts of Watkinsville and Oconee County could become more like Athens.
Just, from my own point of view, I've always seen Watkinsville as kind of just a small town, and I've always enjoyed that. I like being close to Athens and going to, those type of restaurants and businesses when I please, but, for me, I would rather see Watkinsville stay the way it is.
Polls closed at the Watkinsville Annex and City Hall at 7 this evening. Unofficial results will be posted on the Oconee County website once all votes are tallied. In Hall County, they also saw a low voter turnout at its special election today. Just over 83,000 active voters are registered for the countywide election, though the county projected a voter turnout of 25%. At 3 this afternoon, less than 3% of voters filled out a ballot. The 1% special purpose local option sales tax would raise money for new ambulances, a library renovation, and an upgrade to the 911 system. Coming up next, bars, restaurants, and breweries could be changing their working hours and policies. Find out what new Georgia bills are reshaping the current liquor policies.
Get out to the forest.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo! Hey guys, wait up!
And discover the wonders of nature with your family.
These trees are the key to our way of life.
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning!
Clean water.
Woohoo! Woo!
An endless forest adventure.
Let's rock this jungle!
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing!
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
All right. I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
A bill designed to help Savannah celebrate St. Patrick's Day could have an effect here in Athens. Reporter Rayleigh Rogers says it's all about selling alcohol on Sunday. But Rayleigh, I thought people could already buy alcohol on Sunday.
Well, they can in restaurants, but bar sales are off limits on Sundays in Georgia. A new bill signed by Governor Nathan Deal, however, would allow Georgia cities to select one special Sunday out of the year to allow bar sales. This was made with Savannah's St. Patrick's Day weekend in mind, but any Georgia city really could adopt the bill.
Bars like the Old Pal are busy on weeknights, but you never see them serving up drinks on a Sunday. While restaurants can serve alcohol all weekend long, bars have to shut down Saturday night.
It just seems to be an antiquated law at this point for some businesses to be able to be open on Sundays and other businesses can't. It certainly puts us at a disadvantage.
Athens officials could help level the playing field by adopting Senate Bill 103. This would mean bars like Old Pal could keep their doors open on one special Sunday each year.
And the city has plenty of Sundays to choose from. They could pick the weekend of AthFest or the day after a UGA football game. Even New Year's Eve falls on a Sunday in 2017.
Mayor Nancy Denson says while she personally doesn't like the idea, she will remain open-minded.
I very honestly think that our alcohol legislation is something that's open enough, and it's not anything that I'm going to propose. But I wouldn't fight it if that was something the community wanted.
But for now, bar glasses will stay dry on Sunday.
Now, the bar owners around here are very enthusiastic about this, but it seems that people who host events in Athens, aren't really into it. And AthFest representative said that she really isn't interested in the new legislation.
Did any other Athens groups comment on this, Rayleigh?
No one said they are yet, but we will keep you posted.
Well, it sounds like it's up to the community and local officials to decide when and if this bill gets discussed. Another bill affecting Sunday liquor sales is making its way through the Georgia legislature. The House of Representatives has approved a bill that will allow restaurants to serve alcohol 2 hours earlier, at 10:30 instead of the current present 12:30. The bill still has to be passed by the Georgia Senate and signed by the governor. Another bill affecting Sunday... Georgia craft breweries are celebrating after a bill will allow them to sell beer on the premises. That should be good news for Athens breweries, but reporter Aaron O'Brien tells us why only one local brewery is positively affected.
It's a typical night in Athens, Georgia, where several people have gathered at a local brewery to sample the latest in craft beers. Come last call, however, patrons are left with only a t-shirt, glassware, and memories of a fun night. The seemingly ironic rule is due to Georgia's current laws that prohibit breweries from selling beer on site.
I almost think it's very doomsday kind of argument, whereas it's not like we're presenting something that's completely new and unfounded. I mean, this is how it works in 90% of the country, and it's worked just fine.
The new law lets the brewery sell beer, but the brewery must also sell food as well. Many of the local breweries don't. The version that was originally proposed would have allowed any brewery to sell regardless of food sales. Georgia's Craft Brewing Guild believes that the original version would have helped bring more jobs and businesses all over Athens.
Immediately a higher impact of money that's going to be coming into our local economy. We have a terrible unemployment rate and a terrible poverty rate in the city and the state as a whole.
These laws have not stopped new breweries from popping up. In just 5 years, over 30 craft breweries and microbreweries have entered the state of Georgia. The craft brewing industry alone has accounted for over $1.7 billion of Georgia's total revenue. Aaron O'Brien, Mock Show 570.
The breweries say that despite the current laws and restrictions, there is nowhere else they'd rather be. Coming up, 2 UGA fraternities had to make drastic changes to their spring calendars because of the racial chants at the University of Oklahoma. Find out exactly what happened next.
What would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
2 fraternities have canceled their spring formals specifically because of the dresses worn at those events. National Spotlight has been on SAE, but they aren't the only chapter to cancel. Reporter Shannon Bassford has more.
Because the fraternity members' dates show up in old Southern style dresses, and because of the increased sensitivity to races and other ethnicities, it's just become inappropriate.
It's dresses, just like these, antebellum style dresses, classic Southern style in common at Panhellenic and interfraternity events.
The actual event is not happening anymore.
Dr. Charles Bullock, a Southern politics professor at UGA, gave some insight into his experience with the fraternities. He suggests that the students and the community may have differing opinions on the matter.
UKAs are the ones who have always emphasized Robert E. Lee and...
Fortunately, though, the news came a little late for people like Emily, who were excited about getting asked on such a long-standing tradition. And she says she doesn't really understand why the dresses had to be banned because of the SAE incident. She says the dresses are a beautiful part of Southern tradition.
Some say canceling these events will not only increase sensitivity on our campus, but also around the United States.
It certainly sounds like everyone's taken the appropriate actions. A distinguished political science professor finds abandoning Southern traditions is opening up a new climate of racial sensitivity. Dr. Charles Bullock, a longtime faculty member, recounted that even after integration in 1961, it took years to see change.
That this kind of goes under the same kind of heading as when the Redcoat Band ceased being the Dixie Redcoat Band, and when it stopped playing Dixie pretty regularly at football games. So increased sensitivity, because again, you go back 40 years and maybe less than that, and those was, you know, pretty much part of it. And although UGA desegregated in 1961, there were very, very few minorities here for a number of years after that.
We certainly have come a long way. Coming up, we'll follow one UGA student's first plasma donation experience.
It's terrifying. It's disgusting. And it must be stopped. Throughout downtown Athens, mindless zombies are throwing recyclable items in the trash. No! But you can be a hero.
Groovy.
Use the downtown recycling bins for all your recyclable items. Cans, bottles, paper, and more can all be recycled. So use the downtown bins and don't be a mindless zombie. To save this world, we must recycle more.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I ride the bus.
I ride the bus.
Nosotros usamos el autobús.
Athens Transit would like to remind you that the bus is for everyone. Riding the bus is safe, affordable, and convenient. For work, for shopping, or anything else, the bus can take you there. And when you need a little extra help, the bus is ready to meet your needs. So remember, the bus is for everyone.
I ride the bus.
For routes and complete information about the bus, visit athensclarkcounty.com/transit.
Plasma donation is rapidly becoming a quick and easy way to make a buck. Reporter Anna Clark has more on plasma donation around Athens.
I followed one UGA student through her plasma donation experience and found just what makes this process so appealing. This is Shelby. Shelby is donating plasma for the first time. Plasma is the water portion of your blood that contains all of the proteins, lipids, salts, carbohydrates, acids, and antibodies. During the donation, plasma is separated from the person's red blood cells. Its purpose? To make immunoglobulin for patients who are immunodeficient, Rogaine for pregnant women, and more.
There are a lot of medications that need plasma, and we can't manufacture plasma. It's a biological agent. Without our donors, we can't make those medications, and the people that need those medications wouldn't be able to live the lives that they are able to live with it.
Before Shelby began her donation process, she had to answer a series of questions, have her iron level tested, and be evaluated during a physical exam. The reason for this process is to ensure her blood plasma is healthy enough to donate.
It's definitely been scary. I don't know, I just hate needles and stuff, so it's been weird, but it's fine now.
Over 200 people walk through this store daily to donate their plasma. Their incentive, a payment, and they're saving the lives of other people.
We do compensate people for their time, so we only collect plasma from donors that are within our recruitment area, which is basically Athens and the surrounding area. So that money that we are compensating them goes right back into the Athens community.
Making sure to eat and drink plenty of food and water the day before and morning of will greatly minimize side effects. As long as the first donation goes well, people are able to donate up to twice a week. Because of the incentives, Shelby plans to make her trip to the Plasma Center a weekly routine. According to the American Red Cross, the average donation lasts about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Each donation is paid, and the amount of the payment varies between each visit. The more often you donate, the higher the pay.
Do you have any idea about how many students donate plasma?
We don't have exact numbers on how many students donate, but there definitely are a lot of UGA students that donate every day.
That's definitely an incentive to donate as much as possible. I know that I could use some spare change. The Athens Biotest Plasma Center pays donors with debit cards rather than cash. The general manager at the Plasma Center says debit cards better ensure the security of their customers and their company, having previously experienced problems with employees stealing cash from under the center. Local student donors say they use the money that they receive from plasma donation for everything from rent to textbooks to a night out on the town. A University of Georgia pharmacy school student says the medical benefits of plasma donation are just as important as the monetary benefits. At UGA's pharmacy school, students are extracting more than 700 different proteins out of donated plasma and are creating a variety of medicines.
Plasma has lots of proteins, and it's used as clotting factors and antibodies that the body itself cannot produce.
Plasma taken from healthy donors is given to patients with sicknesses and immune system deficiencies to create antibodies and necessary clotting factors to protect the human body from illnesses. Coming up, find out where you can celebrate St. Patrick's Day tonight and some overlooked history you may not know.
Welcome to the Athens-Clarke County Tennis Center in Athens, Georgia. Completed in 2013, the Tennis Center offers great play all year round on 12 fully lit hard surface courts. There are accommodations for spectators and enough space to host a tournament. The main building features energy-efficient construction, ADA accessibility, a covered pavilion, and much more. Players of all ages enjoy open play, clinics, and summer tennis camps at the Athens-Clarke County Tennis Center. Because in Athens, Georgia, tennis is for everyone.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
This is the Oconee Street Park and Ride Lot, where you can park for free on weekdays and ride the bus into downtown Athens and UGA. The Downtown Express runs every 20 minutes during peak commuting hours. So skip the parking fees and traffic hassles. Park for free and ride into downtown Athens and UGA from the Oconee Street Park and Ride.
Park and ride. Park and ride. Park and ride.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
One local Athens venue will be celebrating a milestone on this St. Patrick's Day. The Foundry will be marking its 10th year of its St. Patrick's extravaganza, and reporter Danielle Herman shows us how the event tries to bring a little Irish culture to Athens.
The Foundry kicked off its annual festivities about 2 hours ago with enough food, fun, and of course, beer to bring out the Irish heritage in all of us.
Here's to you.
Troy Aubrey is welcoming St. Patrick's Day in the traditional Irish manner, with a pint of Guinness. The president of the Foundry Entertainment is gearing up for tonight's big event.
So tonight we're doing our 10th anniversary for the St. Pat's celebration here at the Foundry, formerly the Melting Point. So this is every year we've been, since opening in 2005, we've been doing a St. Patrick's Day party here.
And while many students will be enjoying the various celebrations which will be occurring around town this evening, one local Athens with a true Irish heritage says she hopes to keep the meaning of the holiday alive.
Not a lot of people realize that there is Irish dance in Athens sometimes. I still get a lot of, oh my God, I had no idea there was Irish dance here when I Googled it, that comes across. But we usually perform starting the week before St. Patrick's Day, and we actually have a performance on Saturday, so we kind of go almost a week or two of performances.
Aubrey promises a festive event to celebrate the holiday and encourages students to embrace any percentage of Irish heritage they may have, like he does.
I personally love St. Patrick's Day. I've got a lot of Irish history and back in our family history, so I celebrate it every year. So.
The Athens Drake Irish School for Dance will be performing at the Foundry tonight, followed by traditional Celtic music and a tribute band to the Irish band, the Pogues. Guinness draft specials and an Irish fare will be served as well. Tickets are $7 for general admission and $5 for students.
That sounds like a great time, Danielle, but where is your green?
Green is not in my color wheel, unfortunately. I've gotten pinched a lot for that today, but I'm definitely looking forward to the green festivities tonight.
All right, fair enough. Well, if you're looking for other places to celebrate St. Patrick's Day tonight, you can also go to the Georgia Theater. They'll have authentic Irish music on the rooftop. For drink specials, you can visit Irish pubs like Flanagan's and Cutter's, and the Globe and Terrapin will have some traditional Irish food. Religious leaders at the UGA Catholic Center say that St. Patrick's holiday is celebrated as a social aspect among most, but to those who are of Catholic beliefs or Irish culture, it has a deeper meaning.
Americans do see this as a social gathering, and the beer is green, but it didn't have much to do with St. Patrick. Mostly what we're celebrating is somebody who spiritually touched the country of Ireland, somebody who was enslaved himself and then came back a free man, having encountered Christ, and then came back and did so much, probably in the 5th century.
I think a lot of people celebrate St. Patrick's Day without any reference to the person, the saint. And many who are not Irish celebrate St. Patrick's Day, so it is the social event. And while the students at Mass might not be in great numbers, there'll probably be a lot of green shirts. However, as Father Tom mentioned, he grew up in Britain, was made a slave by pirates in Ireland, escaped, but came back as a priest, and at that time converted the Irish.
Both Father Tom and Sister Barbara expect to see a few more students than normal at tonight's service. And now a quick update on the liquor by the drink referendum in Watkinsville. As of now, there are 117 votes.
These are unofficial numbers. Officials say there were 91 in favor of it and 16 people opposed. Of course, we will continue to monitor this and keep you updated on the web.
Thank you so much for watching Mock Show 5570. We hope you have a great, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Lana.
Production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
You guys going to my party on Friday?
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy.
All right.
What's up, dude?
I'm loving your jacket.
Don't be such a fag.
If you don't mean it, why say it? Words hurt. Think before you speak.
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6. To me, being the first person to go to college, it's like setting a standard, you know? My little brother is 8 years old now. I challenge his curiosity. I challenge him to dream. I have to paint a picture for him that he can look up to and live up to and possibly be better than. My name is Jaquez, and I am your dividend.
Driving down Oconee Street in Athens, you might get a glimpse of this in your rear view mirror. This red building is famously known as the REM Steeple and sits right behind Nucci Space. It used to be a part of St. Mary's Episcopal Church, but in 1990 the church was torn down, leaving the steeple to stand alone.
My personal connection to it is that it's music related and that's what I've chosen to do with my life.
Show 570 Post-Show Critique. I'm Michael Castinger, posing as the executive producer. To my left is the senior producer for tonight's show. To my right is one-time anchor.
I was never an anchor.
One-time director and senior manager, and now with CNN, and will also represent the, give us a little bit of feedback, as well as represent some of the technical aspects. But we will start with the senior producer first. So you're on.
All right.
And your name is?
My name is Ellen Cohen.
Good for you, Ellen.
Thank you. All right, so first of all, great job, everybody. And I'm just gonna go through some notes that I had. So first of all, definitely I think with spring break happening, we kinda
didn't do as much research before as we normally do and didn't come in with as much information. And so just like we need to get back in the swing of things, like make sure we do our research before, because like a lot of you had some ideas, but you had like a couple like different ideas, like maybe I can do this, maybe I can do this, but like you don't have to necessarily put all your stuff together before, but you need to have an idea of what you're going to do, what angles you're going to take, not like, oh, maybe this or maybe this.
Yeah. Again, more angles, more thought to it, okay? We have every one of those stories that led could have had at least 4 or 5 different angles here, and we're not hitting those enough, okay?
Yeah.
The key I keep hitting is I want you to think about all the different angles and the approaches and all the questions a viewer would have, and that's what your job is, answer those questions.
All right, and also another issue that like, I know this got said a lot, you look what the name of your story, what the slug is in the rundown, and when you are dropping your videos, you name it what block number it is, and you name it the slug. So we know what it is. Like there was a video that got dropped, it was like something like sensitivity. I honestly thought it was like St. Patrick's Day spelled wrong. I had no idea what that was.
And neither did the directing crew and everybody else, so we're all sort of flying by the seat of their pants and say, yeah, because we have no idea what we're looking at, okay? You've got to get the slugs to match. The producer will normally put the slugs on, and again, you will match it up. You can come back and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do, because I'm writing it, but especially when we drop the video. If it doesn't match up, there's a snowball's chance in hell that we're going to actually get it on air.
Okay. And okay, now I'm going to go through some notes I took like during the show.
For each block, you mean?
For each block,
Yeah,
yes.
why don't we do this? I want to go to Anna,
Okay.
Mariella, a reaction and anything else from the technical side that we should be thinking of.
You know what, though, for a mock show, it wasn't, like, taught him well.
It was what?
So you taught him well. I don't know, I didn't like, there was just, there wasn't much to see. There was just little things that I feel like, you know, people still work on till they, you know, yeah, white balancing, guys, you know, just always remember to white balance. I saw one video that was super blue, and I was like, wow. Like, that building behind you, I lived down the street from that building at one point. I know that's white. You can white balance on that. Like, come on.
It was underwater. That's why it was blue. So it drowned all the rain.
It's been a while since I've left. And, so yeah, just white balancing. Sam, at one point you didn't, you know, I thought it was kind of awkward. You didn't thank your reporter, you know, before getting off her. That was a little, to me it was a little awkward, but I mean, that's just something that, you know, comes with time. And then,
thank you, Kara.
oh, see, there you go. Barely, yeah. So yeah, I mean, nothing too bad. You know, just work on those little. I like that you guys use a lot of elements. It was more than the real, like the 5 o'clock show today. I was really picky about the elements. Then I was like, come on, guys. At this point, you know, you should be using more elements than that. And I thought you guys used them well. No,
So actually, we're doing more angles than the news source? Is that what you're? Oh, good.
Sorry if his
I'm seriously debating the idea of whether we will Ustream it. As you guys know, we record this and we do upload it to the website. You know, the last 2 shows before the spring break were both uploaded, along actually with the critiques. So that whole thing, you can see it and you can laugh at yourselves or whatever, or watch what you're doing. Yeah, you already done that? Yeah, and then the best part is you can tell your family and friends, and every time you make, yeah, don't not tell them. Yeah, every time you make a mistake, you drink a beer, and by the end of the night, you're completely drunk. No.
True. I'll tell you how many times I did that directing.
Yeah, alcohol day.
So, I don't know, just I guess one of the things that, like, and I saw it today with more of the class, the news source class today, the earlier one, is that, you know, any changes, and, you know, it's really important to translate, you know, what you're doing editorially to your technical team as well. Like, you know, something as little as naming the slug, you know, your VOs and your shots and everything like that, the same name as the slug, and just be as specific as possible. And any changes that you make editorially, let your director know. It's, you know, we're the ones who put it on air, and, you know, if we're confused, the slightest bit, you know, some important element to your story may not get put on, and it's, you know, I can't stress it enough, you know, it happens with new producers that work every day, like, you know, they don't think that they have to tell us that they're making a break shorter, but that makes it, you know, when they cut a break to 90 seconds at, like, in the editorial team didn't let us know. That's a difference between one shot that we could have taken earlier and another shot that, you know, we're taking in the next block. We don't have a quick turnaround time.
So-
Anything that you do
So
is so
even
important.
the producers at CNN
Oh, yeah.
can be dumbasses as
Mhm.
well. Okay.
Like, when you expect for me to, you know, give you this one shot that you really wanted, but, you know, you're speaking, you know, and I have to get a guest in and then, you know, doing all these things, but you only gave me a minute break to do it, I can't do something like that. Or, you know, just certain things that you want and stuff, it won't get done if you're not clearly communicating with your technical side of things. It won't work out. Things won't work out. So, I mean, we can save you at the end, but there's only so much we can do. So.
All right. I've already made one or two comment. Quick one. Post your packages to the website. Okay, we will have the newscast all posted on there. But yes.
Sorry, mine didn't fit when I tried to put it in like the media file. It was like this file is too big, so maybe I'll just have to have you look at it.
On the website.
Yeah, sorry, it just was too big. So if you could just help us with that.
Yeah, what you probably end up doing is posting it to the YouTube and then doing an embed.
Oh, put it on YouTube. Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
and you know how to do an embed? Okay, yeah, that's your smarter one. And then when you do it, I would also strongly encourage you, because you guys are getting some other people, some of those people, it would be nice to call them and say, you know, so for example, the Oconee County Elections Office people, and you say, just wanted you to know, thank you very much, you know, for the interview and the information. And if you're interested, you can see the story itself on there. It builds good relations with them, because these people are coming in and doing interviews, and they're sort of sitting, you know, it's nice for them to go, okay, there's where the heck it is, especially when you're doing a couple. And there's a couple of these stories that I'm sure the people would love to see. A lot of times, and I'm not encouraging this, especially like, for example, we did the others in the bars and stuff like that. Quite frankly, they're sitting there saying, hey, guess what? I got free advertising. I'm a happy little camper. So they want to see that. I would encourage that. The one general thing, and I'm going to have to turn my, well, whatever. Knock off the editorial comments. I don't give a damn what you think, okay? The viewer doesn't give it. Well, that's really nice to know, you know? I'm glad for those people. Gee, I hope more people turn out to vote. I don't give a rat's ass what you think, okay? It can't do that. Can't. And we had one or two of these stories. It was like, I'm sorry, who died and named you Pope, you know? You can't do this stuff, you know?
That father that was in the minute saw it.
Huh?
Father Tom.
Yeah, that father that was in the minute saw it.
Yeah, well, the other issue is, yeah, you can't have me with a minute saw it. It was like, I'm sorry, let's go back to the 15th century and let's start there, okay. But do watch all of those. You had a couple of those where we're sitting there going that. A minor detail, this is more on the anchoring side, pause between your stories, especially for the teases, okay? Give me a pause and then say coming up. Because a couple of times you finish the story and you went straight into the pause and the viewer's going, holy hell, what just happened? You know, he quit, he's gone. There's a commercial and they've lost you. So a little pause and inflection, so that would be good. All right, anything else from you?
I don't know. Can I? There's a quick tip that I actually just thinking about pauses just now, and I earlier somebody in the other show, they sigged out and it came back to them, and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's stupid, and I was like, wow, yeah. I mean, I guess that's something that is expected to make. But if you do that, one thing I noticed that we do at work a lot is that they pause before they sig out, just in case we have to take it out early, which has been the case. One time we had to throw to a donut, but then we got the live shot back up so we could come back up. So what they end up doing, you know, they say the last line, pause for a second, and then sig out, which I think is really, really helpful, because that means
really good point.
it gives us a beat to know that we're towards the end, and cut it out before and toss it back to him, and it makes it so clean. I don't know. I think that is something that I don't know why more people don't think of that.
Yeah, sure. They used to be style that everybody did.
Yeah.
Two quick mechanical ones. You're shooting stand-ups. I want you shooting teases now as well, every reporter. So you're going to do doubles, okay? And you don't need to do the coming up all the time. What is happening downtown that has a lot of people excited? I'm Peter Pan, and I'm going to tell you about that coming up next, okay? But do a tease that's probably going to be running about 5 to 10 seconds max. the other one on our writing editorial thing, the other part of the editorial stuff, do not ever, ever write, "That's right." That's right. I must have deleted 8 "that's rights" tonight. I'm gone. I'm sorry. Of course I'm right. I'm the damn anchor. I'm always right, you know? Good
Funny,
Lord.
there is an anchor at CNN that does that, sports anchor. And I don't know if he says it all the time, but in his script all the time it's like, "That's right, Amanda. That's right, Alex." And I'm like, wait.
You're an idiot. That's right. You can't write for beans. That's right. You know?
I don't know if he always says it, but it's always in a script.
Yep. And the other one, anchor leads. I want to see a full package, front to back. Anchor lead first. A couple of you already had the treatment. I am not looking at the story if I don't see an anchor lead. Again, if the anchor lead doesn't grab my attention, it doesn't matter how good your package is. I'm not watching, the viewer's not watching. You gotta get my attention with that anchor lead. And then the toss to you as a reporter, make it conversational. You know, do not do, "Savannah has more." Oh, whoop-de-bloody-do. Of course she has. She's a damn reporter. No, Savannah takes a look at what it means to a lot of people who are worried about it. Make it a sentence, okay? So those are my generals. All right, senior producer, you're back on.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to go through the show with the notes that I took. A block, I thought overall, y'all did a really good job. I had a couple notes in the package. There was a part where it was like a little out of focus. I think when like the older woman was like sitting like near that voting tables, that part got a little out of focus. And y'all could have had some more maybe action shots of the people voting, even though apparently there was no one. So like I understand like making the best with what you have.
Yeah, but do actually inside shots more, okay? And do, you know, wide, medium, tight, 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 wide, medium, tight, tight, tight. Give me a variety of shots. I could have gotten a lot more. And quite frankly, I actually liked the one shot of the woman because it was funny. He was talking about how it was empty, and the woman looks across. Yeah, and there's an empty seat next to her, and she's like, "It actually looked like you planned it." No, you didn't, but it did look like.
Or like you got a lot of like signs and stuff. So I feel like even if you couldn't get the people voting, maybe get people like in Watkinsville somewhere. But yeah, okay. B block.
Let me do also in the A. The interview with the guy. You know, there's a sign behind him. "No weapons allowed." I'm not even sure I would listen to him that much. I'm reading the sign saying, "Where the hell's he?" It's got a sign saying no weapons. Why is there no weapons allowed? Of course, it's an election. I've been not even paying attention to him at that point. Don't double repeat on sound. We used that soundbite in the package, and then we used it separate, and it wasn't that good. Okay, we should have been able to get a couple of more. Somebody else, you know, one of the poll workers, and you got the poll manager, and he was good, but don't repeat sound bites.
You mean keep one soundbite?
Yeah, you had the one human being, and then he's in the package, and then it comes back later and said, "Oh, by the way, he hasn't finished talking. Let me use another piece." Okay, it just comes across as not doing well. On the SPLOST vote, we probably should have done a full screen on that because there was a lot of information in the end, and not that you aren't the most wonderfully handsome guy I've ever seen in my life, but 30 seconds of you on air is more than I can stomach. Yeah, you want to break it up with full screen, okay? Huh? Yeah, and check shirts probably aren't a good idea, but that's another story. All right, B block.
All right, anyways. Okay, so B block. One thing that I noticed, like on a lot of y'all's packages, is that your VO track was a lot quieter than your SOTs. Like the SOTs were really loud and the VO was really quiet. So just like when you listen
Remember,
to it,
18 dB, 18 dB,
and
pretty
you can
consistently.
Kind of you should be able to like hear that too, because it was like a very drastic difference.
Yeah, the audio
Wait,
guy
we're talking
was
about,
going
are we
crazy.
talking, because I saw, I was hearing sometimes the gnats being too high. Is that what you're saying?
No, I said I
There
thought
was
the
both,
VO track
actually. There was
was
a
like
couple
really
where their
quiet.
track was low and the
the
soundbite was high, and then the reverse where.
Oh yeah, because I was hearing like the gnats way too high on some of them. I couldn't hear with.
Yeah. So that was like, I think I wrote that on like the rest of the blocks, honestly. So that's something to like be on the lookout for. And then also on the B block, there was like a graphic title that kind of went like in and out. So that's just like, we got to make sure when you're like reviewing, just make sure you look at your graphics, make sure that they're right. Yeah. Do you have anything else for B? That's it for me.
Yeah, and when we do phone interviews, go ahead. When you do phone interviews, do voice of, because we had Mayor Denson, I think, in there, and it was like, I'm sorry, there was a picture of her and it said Mayor Denson, and I kept expecting to see, the viewer expects it, but if we sit there and we say voice of, you know, Mayor Denson, blah, whatever.
this was last minute with like the adding of the question and it going back and forth, and I understand all that. But when you guys went into the prompter and just typed in question, and that like threw off threw off everything else in the rundown, and like it left
Should
like a
have thrown
huge
off
gap.
everything else in the rundown.
It did, and just like for like, well, not everything, but like the next two things were like a little off for some reason. Like there was a huge gap.
Okay.
And just like if you're gonna like, I don't know if it works for everybody, but like unless you're putting the actual question that I'm asking, don't put it in there because it just there was no point.
That's a
in me
good point.
looking at it.
Yeah, I was putting it in there because I wasn't sure we were going to do it, and I just jumped it in because I wasn't sure whether. But then I realized we don't have IFB with you guys, so.
The IFBs do work.
They do. I don't know.
Yeah, but the problem is the switch over. We tried it one time. We can try it again, but what ends up happening is they're switching out, and I don't want to get too disgusting, but you also know some of those IFBs have enough earwax that I could, take care of my surfboard for the next year.
Well, remember I used to clean those
Oh yeah, nasty thing.
I actually probably would have preferred that you had question there just to remind me that I'm asking a question, not like, okay, what's happening? I'm not saying anything, like versus like, okay, my line's over. Why am I still on camera? Why is nobody else talking? So for me, I would think that having at least question
Yeah,
if
I think
we weren't
what his
sure.
question is, and it's probably because I jumped it in quickly, is probably when we put it in and then we were trying, and quite frankly, the other part of it, that was one of those that had one of those stupid ass, it's up to the community to decide, well, shit, okay, I don't want to hear that crap. And so I probably screwed up in part because of that. But yeah, I'm going to probably put something in there so it just as a reminder. Yeah, and we did that, and I threw it a little bit of a curveball saying to do the question. But we're going to do that, and I did that on purpose, one, because of the time, but two, because I want you guys to have that, okay, how do you react and how do you handle it? And quite frankly, you guys did fairly well on that. Cool. All right, C block.
Okay. C block, again, I heard quiet super trap loud thoughts. And then, okay, there was a part, what? Oh, okay, anyways. There was a part where, like, you were talking about, like, this girl says this, and this, but, like, we never really knew who the girl was. Like, did you interview her and she didn't want to go on camera?
No, what happened was honestly we just needed to put something on air, so we had to cut the voice track down so much that we just had to choose a chunk and kill it because we didn't have time to go back and put all the B-roll in. So we chose a chunk, and I guess the chunk that we chose had her name in it, but she was introduced.
Okay.
It just
didn't
make
really,
it to air.
yeah,
We
you
just
couldn't
wanted
see
40
her.
seconds instead of 0 seconds, so it just came down
Okay.
to just getting something to go on air.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Be careful on your lives, and I'm going to pick on you, but you were kind of rocking and rolling. And it was like, I'm going, all right, that's nice. Now I've got my right leg exercise done, there's my left, and go, okay, all right, now I'm better.
If you want to get away for all studio people to hate you, just rock and roll like that all the time.
Yep.
They will not do you any favors.
Good to know.
Did somebody else had something? Okay.
I have one more thing for them. Also, there was a part that was like supposed to be a VOSOT and ended up just like being a SOT, and it wasn't ever changed in the script and like in the rundown.
That was the sensitivity thing that was dropped wrong. So I think it just wasn't it just
Okay.
wasn't pulled over to playback. So
Okay.
that's just like make sure you
Okay, I
put color.
And make sure the producer has to know. Okay?
Yeah, just
Like
it's her
we
responsibility.
didn't cut. Like he thought he
Okay.
dropped
well,
it.
I
it was
once I found out what the sensitivity thing was, I like renamed it to the right thing. So it should have still been in there. I don't know why it wasn't.
I don't know why it wasn't, but that's what happened. Like so, it was dropped and it was in there, but it just wasn't pulled over to playback.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead, finish up.
No, I think that's it
with
for
C
C
block.
block.
If you have to wear glasses and you need to wear glasses, because I ordered. But it's like it's the second straight week this has happened, and it's just like
ordered, so he can't do anything about it.
just making a point.
All right.
This is also the one of, this was another one of those, we certainly have come a long way. Well, that's marvelous. Okay. D block, anything?
D block, yeah, okay. Again, one of the thing where the VO SOTs wasn't matched, and that was the blue light on the stand-up, but we already addressed it. And then, okay, yeah, okay. So, and then, Mary Grace, when you were like asking the question, you like completely changed your tone of voice from when you were like asking the question to when you went back and read what was on the prompter. So it was just like like, I don't know how to like explain, but like you were like, question, read, like, and it just like was a sudden like really switch in emotion, so just maybe like look down, look back up or something.
And this wasn't like a heavy duty story, but you guys were just about as happy as two pigs in poop. I mean, it was, hot day, man, look at that plasma donation. I am so damn happy. Oh, I know. People are living, oh my gosh, you know? Oh, I feel so good and warm all over. All right.
We had just talked about that too, me and Lana. It was like, do I smile when I talk about plasma?
Yeah, on those you want to be, hand it to her. Yeah, those you don't, okay? I mean, there are some that you're going to smile, obviously, and they call for it. But again, this is the old kind of ageist type of thing. You're all young and cute, and quite frankly, even the smallest smile, you look like, oh, damn, she's as happy as hell, man. God damn. You know, I want some of her drugs, you know? So that one also, what happened to the soundbite on this one? We cut in that soundbite. It was all of 4 seconds, and it went to black on Where the Plasma Goes. It was like literally a 4-second soundbite. It was.
It should have been like 8 or 9, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Did we just not put it in? It's not true.
No, I mean, I even double checked to make sure it was in
Okay,
there
double check and see
correctly.
what's happening, because we went to black in the middle of that, and it was like something happened. So that was an issue. Okay, E-Block.
All right. I liked y'all's crosstalk a lot. I thought it sounded like more conversational than some of the other ones. Granted, like they were.
Give me your hand. Wait, what are you doing?
Anyways, like they were prepared, so like made sense that like they like knew it was coming versus some of y'all were like thrown a curve. But just like it was a very good example of like what a conversation kind of like should look like. And then again, just like the SOT was like too long. Like I don't know. It was just I have no idea what it said, honestly. Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. Once you go to a minute, it's like, good Lord. I'm glad we did the update at the end. That was good. Gave a good, strong sense of being a real honest-to-God newscast, and that's important. I'm glad you thought of doing it and doing the update, because that's critical what we're doing, because that's what will happen when we're actually doing these, is updating them. Did you have something?
Yeah, I just had a couple comments from just watching. Oh, you're good. I don't.
Hold on.
Okay.
Now come on over.
Okay, so this happened a couple times, but just when they are like 30 seconds, try to look like you're about to be on air in like 2 seconds, because it'll be like 0.002 seconds, and then like all of you were like, oh, I'm about to be on air, and like half of you were like,
yeah, we had 3 instances.
or like fixing your hair, but just when they're like 30 seconds, like get back into your position, like stop moving around, just be ready. Because it happened, like he accidentally switched someone on air, or you on air, when it was a commercial, so you don't want to be like picking your nose and like go on air by accident, or like, just like look alive, like look like you're about to.
Again, take control of that point, again, it's always your face. So I'm sitting there, we had at least 3 instances. I'm surprised Jake didn't come down here and want to strangle 3 of you, because it was like he was doing 5, 4, where the hell are they? What are they doing? What are they doing? Personally, I would have come down and just shot you and got you off the set and dragged the body off and buried you.
Yeah, but so a less dramatic approach, just when they say 30 seconds, just.
Okay.
Think of her snorting.
All right.
This is funny, and it'll end on a light note. There's a Twitter called Shit Journalists Say. Go follow it. It's hilarious. It says all the stuff that he's been getting on to us about. And I still do it sometimes, but it helps.
Also, another thing, like your mic may be on. It's supposed to be off, but just be careful what you're saying. I forget who was talking.
Yeah, I'm surprised we
You were
got caught
talking
with
like
you.
during commercial. Just like try not to talk and don't say anything. Like even if it's like 10 minutes or 5 minutes before the show, like what if they accidentally broadcast it? Like don't say anything. Just
I'm not going to say anything, and even if I am, I'm sitting there and I'm going to expect the mic dead. I cover, because I'm sitting there going, even then I know the chances are pretty good. But and I only use it if I really absolutely know I have to get a message out. And even then, you're taking a big chance, because we picked up you during the package.
Yeah. And also too, did everyone put their scripts in the correct way in formatting? Because No, I don't think you did.
No, you didn't. Thank you.
That was kind of rhetorical. Because like, no, not sure. I'm not sure. No, because it was like what was going on up there, like it wasn't the same thing that was going on down here. So like in order to play like your VOs and your SOTs or your packages, it wasn't adding up. So like they would be played like a little later or something, and you just kind of have to figure it out. Like if they were pausing up here, you'd be like, all right, I guess that's where the VO comes in or something. So, or the SOT or something. So just to make sure.
All right.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anything before we wrap? All right. Well, thank you and good night. Go into the lab.